Welcome back to Picton's Northern States Floating Circus, presented to you by its Chief Clown. This episode we have some really cruddy weather, very little to report on progress on the boat, and a couple of quick jobs. So not a long episode, it's really just a gap filler until I can get some information about what's going on with the oil leak and with the boat not remaining in gear. So hang around to the end, and I hope to be able to give you all an update on happenings in the very near future. Things got a bit wet, well, very wet, and a bit blowy in Marlborough Sounds last week. Certainly not as bad as Canterbury, Christchurch, the far north, and Wellington got it with a big storm that seemed to come up from both ends of the country. Well, down from one end and up from the other. We were quite lucky, we escaped quite lightly. We had a lot of rain, the temperature dipped, and there was a fair bit of strong wind and some gales. But we came out of it all right. With the start to the storm that's coming through from the south, strong southerlies, 130 km/h plus winds, southerly winds forecast in the Cook Strait and exposed places, heavy rain. This is rain sort of been kicking around now since about mid-morning. Blenheim anyway, I don't know how long it's been raining out here for. But yeah, just down to check the boat, see how things are looking, and might just put a little bit of extra tape over the area out there to hold that plastic, stop that plastic from flapping a wee bit. But you'll see the boat bobbing around a fair bit and hear the wind, no doubt. It was about this stage I decided to give it up as a lost cause. If it came off, it came off. It's too wet, nothing would stick. Yeah, no good. Too wet, even drying it off, the tape won't stick. So, the electric's own devices, peels off, it peels off. I still think that probably it's better off having the air at it than having it covered up with paint, so it's still going to dry in any case. So if it gets wet, I'll just have to go to plan B and recommence covering and drying. Always nice just to be down here. On just couldn't sort out the depth sounder fish finder the other day when we were out either, so I've managed to reset things the way it's actually working. So probably 16 metres, probably 17.5 metres in total underneath the boat. So pretty cool. Look at that, quite like the different colours. Now, I don't quite know how that happened, went from red to green. Custom, oh, probably because one's custom and one's not. Auto. Right, so that's working. Don't know how well it's working though, but yeah, it's working. Working. We'll turn it off. Bit of a view aft. Unfortunately, the recording doesn't show how much the boats were bouncing around in the marina. Doesn't really do justice to how strong the wind was at the time. Now, it's always hard to get an accurate indication on a camera. But anyhow, given that it's a very sheltered marina, there was also still a bit of surge coming under the seawalls, as I've previously talked about, and some gusts were stronger than the others. Strong the wind was, surprisingly sheltered at this end of the sound. Well, a week later, down to check the old boat. Should have come down yesterday. It's now Sunday. However, weather was better yesterday, but I didn't. I had some other jobs to do, washing, housework, all the usual drama and palaver. Anyhow, what's the job on Northern Star if you don't complicate it with a bit of rain, a bit of wind, a bit of unpleasant conditions? So down just to check the mooring lines and also remove a bit of bilge water and empty the bilge water container. A much better day today. Although it was even better yesterday. We had sunshine and it was quite pleasant. Today there's a bit of wind. There's been a bit of wind overnight, but still it's not too bad. Down here, I'm going to it's been a bit of heavy rain of late, so I'm going to drain the bilge water in there. Looks particularly still sort of oily in there, so I'm not particularly happy about that. However amount is in there, I'm not sure it's 15 or 20 litres. So probably about 25 litres worth of water that's leaked in top sides, give or take a little bit that was already in there. I find the very heavy rain we've had in the last week, torrential, and just gradually leaching its way in through the top side. So it's not an insignificant amount of water, it's not a huge amount either. The biggest concern is, for me, the oil that's leaking out of the water, out of the engine and into the water. I'm not particularly very happy about it. Just going to go down. I've just drained the bilges. I'll drain a little bit more. I'll empty that on the way home. I'm just going to take out the oil mats and see whether they've actually soaked anything up or whether it was a waste of time, and those oil mats from Temu are a nonsense. But we'll go down and have a look at that in a minute. I'm going to pull them out and probably see what they're like and either throw them into the bin or put them back in. Yeah, so let's get into that. Right, was one from the aft end there underneath the prop shaft. It's the lowest point of the boat. not a lot of water, oil in the water there. Let's get and have a look at these uppers here. You see a little bit of glycol is leaking out of the rotten tank, or is that oil out of the? That could be oil out of the end of the reduction box. That seems to have sucked a bit up. Put my glasses in there. Have all been sucked into that one. Not so much in that one, and not so much in that one there. So it could probably go back in. So they do work to some degree. I'm a little bit concerned where that oil's coming from though. It's not an insignificant amount. Right, let's have a look in there. Let's check the oil levels. I got down there into the engine room, realised I didn't have a piece of rag, so I needed to crawl back out again and go to the aft cabin, get a piece of rag so that I could use this to wipe the dipsticks, get a decent reading, keep things clean, not drip oil everywhere, although a little bit more wasn't going to hurt. And as usual, this should actually be an Olympic sport. As all of us know, climbing into the most inaccessible parts of your boat is always when you discover you haven't got the tool or the item that you need to do the job. Of a whole day of doing that, you're absolutely knackered. Who needs a gym membership? Oh yeah, and also guess where my glasses were and what I needed to do with them. Right, just drop my glasses in the Bilge. So these are maximum, minimum. It's well over maximum. I'm wondering whether this is over full. That is well and truly all the way up there. So, folks, does that mean, let's test it again, I don't know if you can see that, it's all the way up there. Does that mean, is there an oil overflow somewhere where, I don't know about that, certainly seems to be excessively full even for cold. It's all the way up to the very top. So there is the fill position, and it's all the way up there. It's concerning. And there it is there on the dipstick. Minimum, maximum. That's all the way up there. So it's well above the minimum and maximum of the gearbox as well. Right, in the reduction box. Well above the minimum maximum in that as well. It's up around here. So that's a little concerning. I don't know much about them, but certainly both the reduction box and the gearbox seem to be over full. The engine oil seems to be over full. So is this a situation where there is too much oil and there's an oil breather somewhere that's dripping a bit of oil into the bilge to get rid of it? Don't know. I need to actually email seafarers and find out, because it's always been my understanding that even when the engine's cold, on fill or just slightly over, because by the time it warms up, throws the oil around the engine, generally drops to the appropriate level. If it's over full like that, it's not good for the engine. You know, you imagine it probably is getting hot and expanding even further. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that, whether that's an issue. I don't know. But that there again is well and truly over the full level. That is up there. I've never seen it that full. Never used to be that full. I'm sure of it. So, folks, what do you think? I need to find out. And that brings us to the end of another episode, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm a little bit perplexed about the oil volumes or levels in the engine, gearbox and reduction box. I wonder whether I should have checked before I'd used it. However, I assumed that after a service and a complete overhaul as I had done, no signs of any leaking oils whatsoever, it having been run on the berth and all that palaver, that everything would have been fine. I don't know. Jury's out. I'll let you know about what I hear back from the engineer. I've emailed them. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyhow, just finished on some more happier footage of some happier times, and looking forward to the next episode. If you're still here, thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe and share. Again, doesn't do me much good other than helps my content to be recommended for other people to watch. And as always, cheers, thanks for watching. Get out there and do it before it does it to you.